If the sounds are defeated, my husband is a renowned person now. We should be happy about it. It is easier to shoot someone in the spotlight. That is true. Also, since when do you suddenly take my side? Because it seems to me like you are still the same bitch you've always been. Hello everybody and welcome to the 5th episode. In the last episode we allowed the National Guard to defend themselves in Paris, which they did, and then we executed the head of the National Guard for defending themselves. It wasn't our proudest moment. At the end of that episode, however, the king, Louis Capet, Louis XVI, has been captured and we now are presiding over his tribunal. There is something new here. The people are calm. I'm not entirely certain what this is. I'm gonna assume that they get super angry over time, and the higher they go, like the higher is the chance that people storm our building and murder us. I'm not entirely certain. We're gonna find out. Notre famille. Oh, our family. Beautiful. I like our son liking us. I think that's cute. I think that's very cute. Unfortunately, yeah, I really regret that death penalty. I wish we wouldn't have had to give it, but we really had to. We didn't really stand a chance there. The revolutionaries hate our guts, but the common folk like us a lot. We can't really... Could we even go against the revolution? Like if we went for prison? Yeah, oh, we would max out our reputation here. That's actually very nice. Oh, actually, they both would be okay with both of them. I just realized. We'd get murdered if we let the king go, which makes sense. But actually, if we just send him to prison, we'd still get plus points. We get more if we kill him, which is what historically happened. Historically, he was murdered. Well, executed. Let's not say murdered, though an argument could be made that it was murder, but he was executed. But we could actually send him to prison, and it still would count as a plus for everything, including our family. Because our family would prefer to see him in prison. So that is actually something to keep in mind, that we could do that. What do we hear? My lord, should any reason appear, shoot the rebels without hesitation, just as his majesty ordered. Have no mercy, for they shall have none either. V.F. de Broglie. Alright, let's read what happened. He is accused of counter-revolution, which makes sense since the revolution is against him. Treason, fraud, advocating monarchy, which makes sense seeing how he's the monarch, and neglect of duty. But assuming that the monarchy doesn't make sense, which is one of the things you're saying here, he shouldn't have duty. Anyway, compatriots, Citizen Capet, previously known as King Louis XVI of France, must be punished for conspiring against the people of France. Louis Capet tried to defend his absolute authority by plotting against the National Constitutional Assembly and the people of France. We all remember July of 1789, he gathered an army, 15 foreign regiments, and ordered them to surround Paris. Soldiers led by Baron de Besenval were to capture deputies and shoot at citizens defending the reforms. And so they did. The Royal German Regiment drew first blood. After the blood failed, Louis Capet tried to flee the country and with his family and scheme with foreign monarchs abroad. Is that not the reason he took flight from the Tuileries one night in June of 1791? Using someone else's passport, which was he not heading the to Montmedy, where his loyal armies were stationed, ready to take him to Austria? If it were not for Postmaster Duret, this scheme could have ended tragically for us. Louis Capet will never abandon the thought of suppressing the revolution by force. Before the events of 1792, he gave orders for the Swiss guard stationed in the Tuileries to be doubled. He conducted a public muster in front of horrified citizens. The people had no choice. They had to act before Capet attacked. Citizens of Paris who tried to stop the madness were shot at, even at Capet's escape to the National Assembly. Evidence and order issued Bismarck. Okay, before we start asking anything, this we can't really say anything bad about, because okay, he said you can shoot at people that attack you, but keep in mind we just said the same thing. Like, we just told someone the same thing. So that's something to keep in mind. And he fled because he knew they'd kill him. Like, they knew he wouldn't get out of this a free man. It is true that there were foreign regiments. There was an attack. Though, to be fair, there was like the worst invasion of France ever. If I remember correctly from my history lessons, they actually outnumbered the French army, but the battle lasted for like half an hour and like 30 people died. Out of both sides had tens of thousands of soldiers, and like 30 people died. So it was basically nothing happened, and then the army retreated. So it was the worst invasion ever. Anyway, Louis Capet, I hereby open your trial. Answer the questions when asked. Capet is the name of one of my ancestors. My name is Louis Auguste de Bourbon. That may have been your name before you raised your hands against the people you had sworn to defend. As a king, I have never done a thing against my people. I love them and I still do. Objection, there is evidence of Louis Capet's treason against the people of France. He should be tried as a foreigner and enemy, not a citizen of the Republic. Audience, questioning the defendant will stir the impatient audience. Once angered, the people may even start a riot. What does a riot do? Okay, so we can't question forever anymore. Oh, so this actually, it basically stops me asking all the questions. Instead, it makes me only ask the most important questions. That's interesting. There's no rapport this time. Alex Vide, Louis Capet here will open the rounds. Okay, so this is still that. Do we have anything in the hierarchy? Yeah, I executed him. I'm sorry, Burrell. I'm sorry. We now have Elliot and Roland. The Minister of Internal Affairs, thanks to his resourceful wife who controls his career from the shadows, he has gained a position in the government and become a prominent member of the Girondins. He does not hide his support of the monarchy, maintaining that it will create balance between a bloody revolution and the traditions that unite all French generations. Seeing how after the king was killed, the reign of terror started, that's actually true. This is actually true. Like, the moment the monarchy died with Capet, in reality, is basically when the reign of terror started. Anyway, a courtesan known in every nook of Paris that is worth mentioning. A lady of leisure born in Scotland and living in Paris is an alleged spy for the English. In order to survive, she has been forced to master diplomacy like one of the deputies of the National Convention. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, everybody. There's no doubt that her profession has helped her establish relationships. It is unofficially said that if an aristocrat wants to escape from Paris, then Grace Elliott is the one to speak to. Okay. Good to know. Let's find all of this. Oh my god, there's a lot of questions to reveal. Oh my god, this is obviously his motive. Gathering armed forces is an accusation. No? It's a method. Surrounding the city of Paris is an accusation. No? It's also attempted to flee the country. That's an accusation. International plot isn't. Is that fake passport is method? Shooting civilians? That's another method and accusation. I don't know how they take it out of each other, so I'm gonna make that last because I know that this might end bad. Suppressing the revolution. It's a motive, but it's also what he's accused of. And the way they use method in this, it might also be this. This is method. I want to say motive. And accusation. Whew. Oh my god. I was sweating bullets there. Okay, so apparently we can't ask all the questions anymore. So let's go through them and see which ones we actually care about. Did the accused strive to abolish the National Constituent Assembly? What did the accused plan to do with the constituent deputies? who issued the order to fire citizens. That is one of the accusations, so we have to go for that. Defending the National Constituent Assembly. Either Marshal de Broglie or Baron de Besenval, the one responsible, should be the one standing here, as he was not authorized to issue such orders. Really? Not according to this document, it was signed by the Marshal. Marshal de Broglie went too far and lied to us all. I swear on my crown I did not issue that order. De Broglie is a sworn monarchist and was given an army to suppress the revolution. Would he work on his own without Capet's blessing? People sometimes do stupid things. Yeah, but that's actually a fair point. I still don't know why he keeps interfering, but that's a fair point. He caught him, but does that really matter? Has the accused ever considered Paris and its inner to be his enemies? Absolutely not. I asked that you explain the question. How can you deny it? If you do not understand the question, your army surrounded Paris. Is that not what you do to your enemies? My soldiers were there only to ensure public order while the National Assembly was in session. Adequate forces were already present in Paris. Was that not enough? Who is responsible for the delivery of the passport? Who helped you suppress the revolution? Well, one thing. When does a leader order a muster? Who gave the order to shoot the citizens gathered around the palace? Was the accused planning to reclaim his authority in Paris? Was the accused planning to reclaim his authority in Paris and reestablish an absolute monarchy? Why would I? According to constitutional law, I was still the king. Well, yeah, but a king without power. Why did you raise a number of troops in the Tuileries? I fear for my family's life, if it were not a mystery. It is not a mystery that the citizens of Paris were incited to seize the palace and capture us, especially as it was Mr. Danton's goal. It's clear then that the Guard were organized against the citizens of Paris, many of whom did fall in the Tuileries. Against violence and disorder, Mr. Tinville, not against my people. That's actually a fair point. That is a good point here. Who helped to suppress the revolution? Who to suppress the revolution? Frederick William II, that's the Holy Roman Emperor. Francis II, Catherine II. I think this is, or maybe relative Charles VI. Oh, this is Spain. Oh, sorry. This is Spain, and I think also the Holy Roman Empire. This is the Netherlands. I'm not sure, actually. This is how it's them. Nonsense, all of it. My only desire to take my family out of Paris, as I did not wish for them to suffer house arrest. But no, the European monarchs despise our ideals of freedom, equality, and brotherhood. How am I to understand that you try to prepare a joint military intervention? I deny any such accusation. There is no evidence for such outrageous claims. I would never turn against my beloved France. Liar. It's his own mother, never mind his country. Who was responsible for the delivery of the passport? What did the accused plan to do with the constituent deputies? Nothing. The assembly that I joined on 27th of June 1789 granted immunity to its members, and I intended to respect that. And yet you ordered your soldiers to seize and imprison the deputies and perhaps even execute them. Nonsense, there's no evidence of that, man. I mean, spread rumors to get rid of me. Yeah, we don't need evidence against a coward who runs from his own people. Oh, but there is no evidence. What are you on about? People are getting impatient, but I want to ask all of these. I want to ask all of that. Order master. When there is a need to strengthen discipline and inspire courage. So admit that you encouraged the Guard to attack Paris. No, there were many armed citizens around the palace already. I only wanted to give my troops hope during the defense. I would like to emphasize the fact that my family were in grave danger. If their lives were in danger, the fault lay with you. It was not the first time you sent your troops to fight citizens. That's a shitty accusation. Fuck you, Tinville. I'm sorry, but you can go screw yourself, man. Gentlemen, I look and wait for a judge to rise. He only accuses before me. He does have a good point here. Did the accused strive to abolish the National Constituent Assembly? Yeah. I would not convoke the States General for the first time in generations and acknowledge the National Assembly to act against it and all the required reforms. Then why would you call in armed forces after the National Assembly's transformation into the National Constituent Assembly? My ministers pressed me to ensure my people's safety. That is a bold statement, considering how many of your people were killed during the unrest in July. And that pains me greatly, but the only person responsible for that is Baron de Besenval. Objection! The Besenval carried out Capet's orders. I don't really care about the postman that captured him. Who was responsible for the delivery of the passports of the man called Pine? My butler ordered him to prepare the formalities regarding travel to Montmedy. The city hall has not received any submissions from your butler. I don't know what to say. Monsieur le Judge Louis Capet's butler was seen at the Austrian embassy. They surely took care of all the documents for the defectors. Monsieur Denville, that is mere hearsay. Who said such a thing? Bring him here so that he may repeat it. There's no need. There is hard evidence, especially in light of what the accused has told us. Okay, who did give the order to shoot people? Either, but it was not an order to attack. The guard's duty was only to respond if the citizens attacked. Their duty was to protect my family. In that case, they should have ceased fire as soon as you escaped to the National Assembly with your family. It was chaos. I did not have a chance to give such an order, but it's immediately upon arriving. So the accused has innocent blood on his hands. Okay, let's talk. We can't let him go. We literally die if we let him go. We can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. King, but we die if we let you go. Please introduce yourself. Jean Duray, postmaster of Saint-Ménon, Monsieur le Judge. Did the accused Louis Capet introduce himself to the witness with his full name? No, he didn't introduce himself at all. He only produced someone else's documents. So tried to hide his identity. You could say so. I used the name from the documents after he showed them to me. He never objected. Then how did you learn of his true identity? By the image of the paper assignation. Then a messenger from General Lafayette confirmed my suspicion. I ran as fast as I could to Rennes to inform the authorities. Did the accused tell anyone of the destination of his journey? Was the accused acting like a defector? Was he nervous and ordinary? He obviously was nervous. He was fleeing the country and knew he would probably be executed if he get caught. So that's a stupid question. We're gonna go for this. Where'd he go? He asked for the way to Montmedy. I told him to go through Varennes on Argonne and warned the coachman to be careful. The road is difficult there. Well, the accused like to comment on this testimony. I said I had no intention of escaping. I was merely traveling. It is the right of any free citizen. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? The jury wants him free? The jury wants him to be free. There has to be more questions. There must be more questions. I can't let him go. Yeah, obviously the people are aggressive. It's all sense. See, he was obviously trying to flee the country. Which technically isn't a crime. Like, why should a free person be allowed to leave the country? He is I don't know if he did anything wrong, to be honest. We should have prepared better for this. See, the thing is, he obviously wasn't just trying to flee, because he would have tried to come back. He'd have gone into exile and then tried to return once the revolution is crushed by outside forces. He was fleeing with his wife, which is Marie Antoinette. So she's the sister of the Holy Roman Emperor. So it's very unlikely that he stayed away. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put him into prison. I mean, obviously the death would be better for us, way better for us than this. This would be the correct choice. I think we're gonna put him into prison. I want to kill as few people as possible. I think I want to kill as few people as possible. My family would be happy with it. The jury will hate me. The jury will hate my guts for it. But I think I want to make my family happy. And at least they don't hate me. We can't let him go. If we let him go, we die. It's over. So we're gonna put him in prison. How about that? Let's find common ground here. Even though this would be the better answer. But let's put him in prison. Monsieur le Judge, the crowd in front of the building is enraged. There may soon be a massacre. A rumor has spread about hidden evidence of Citizen Capet's treason. People have gone mad. What evidence? I'll go to them. I will ask you all to stay in your seats until I return.
People, what vexes you? Why are you so angry?
The king lied to us! That coward ran from us! He'll surely run from justice as well! We found proof of the king's treachery in his secret iron cabinet!
Alright, we need to do this little mini game again, which I don't really understand. I still don't understand how this mini game works, to be completely honest. You know what? I'm spending that. I'm spending that to see. Withdrawn, withdrawn, withdrawn. Shall not escape justice. I'm gonna be humble. The evidence from the Iron Cabinet will be examined. This should be huge. Maybe like that. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
The king has been imprisoned. He will not escape a second time. If he tries, I will kill him with my own bare hands.
Okay, I think that worked.
We won't turn a blind eye to new evidence. We shall dutifully pursue each line of inquiry for the Republic and only for the Republic. I know that you might be angry, but you have chosen your representatives to protect you. Believe in me.
Alright, I think I did it. Reputation +2, influence +2, common folk. Oh! We're totally gonna overshoot now on the common folk. I feel like I'm wasting some common folk stuff here. It's true, evidence of Capet's guilt has been found. Really? Would the defendant like to explain why he concealed his secure iron cabinet and the documents hidden within from the convention? I had nothing from the convention. No one asked me about the existence of such things. You kept the correspondence well hidden under lock and key. It could only be retrieved and only the assistance of a master locksmith. Any affluent Parisian has a lockable cabinet. I, for one, am keenly interested in locksmithing. Really? You have a keen interest in locksmithing? Really? Also, let's have a quick look here. Oh, look, we are totally overshooting now on this. If we let him go, oh my goodness. We could go, no, we can't, we couldn't even go for prison. We'll see. But everyone wants him killed. And everyone wants the death penalty. Okay, what else do we have? My lord, should any reason appear, shoot the rebels without hesitation, just as he ordered. We already know this one. The next one. The deputies of the so-called National Assembly are to be carefully questioned, and if any of them should display common sense and cease to support the Assembly, reward him with an extraordinary high allowance and forward His Majesty's thanks. Okay. See, what I'm wondering about this one. We've opened the King's iron lock, right? So this was a letter he never sent because it was in his home. And this National Assembly, that was years ago. Why would it be in his iron cabinet? We trust that with God's grace and help, His Majesty will soon arrive within the imperial borders for us to grant Her Majesty, as well as our beloved sister, safety, and to potentially take the steps necessary to establish the natural European order within the borders of France. So that's definitely from the Roman Emperor. His Imperial Majesty, the Holy Roman Emperor, King of Hungary, Bohemia, Croatia, Dalmatia, Slavonia, Galicia, Landomeria, etc., Leopold II of Habsburg. On the 15th of May. That makes sense to be in his, and obviously it means the king wanted to retake with the help of the emperor. And the last one is, Your Grace soon will come to Your Majesty's rescue. However, oh, it's Brunswick, yeah. However, for the time being, I implore your messages to muster local troops that remain loyal. I shall issue a warning to your Majesty's subject that any and all who dare raise a hand against your Majesty would suffer the direst of consequences. Moments await my orders to curb the tide of anarchy in your Majesty's country. The Duke of Brunswick-Lüneburg, that is exactly the attack I don't know the numbers, but what I mentioned earlier with that retreated after like 30 people died. That was his army. But we do have all the evidence now. We don't even really need to ask him anything because we know everyone wants to kill him. We'll ask one or two things to make that. We do need new questions now. How do I get the new questions though? Oh, letters from the Duke is evidence. Letter from the Emperor is evidence. Minister's orders is evidence. Minister's order is method. Suppressing the revolution is counter-revolution, and attempted escape is course of events. Alright. Shall we still ask him everything? I think I kind of want to, but you are aware of the plans of the Emperor and the Duke of Brunswick. Why were you not? What? Why did you not want the National Assembly and the army? You need to speak up. I did not deem the threat serious. Really? That reason? Yeah, that does. Allow me to quote, my armies await my orders. Prince Charles is impetuous, but I never once thought he would dare attack France. You know, if we right now executed him, the jury is on our side. Like, he might talk his way out of it if we ask more questions. Can I actually already make her... Did the defendant confess to the crime? I'm sure the answer to that will be no. The answer here will be no. Who was corrupting politicians at citizen... I need to ask that. According to the defendant, why did Emperor Leopold II write him the letter? He was afraid of the life of innocent... his friend, citizen of his sister. I'm sure the answer here will be Marie Antoinette, but why did Citizen Cabet not warn the National Assembly about the Duke of Brunswick's plans? He just answered that. He claims to have issued a warning. He forgot he did not consider the threat serious. We know that. Who was corrupting politicians at his request? Let's ask that. Going to help during the Duke's attacks, isn't what you call under the sun. Did the accused intend to land? Then why would the Emperor mention they expected to see? Okay. Was the accused responsible for the attempts to bribe the deputies of the assembly in order to abolish it? I did not sign the document, sir. But it was found in a cache belonging to the accused. It speaks of thanks from the king. My intention was to put Minister Rowland on trial for abusing his power. I kept the document for that reason. A trial that has not happened for 3 years. A trial that needs to happen. Roland will confess to the guillotine. It's not a trial if he's being guillotined, you. I hate you with passion. That is fault of the Minister of Justice. I ordered him to carry out an investigation to punish the Minister of Internal Affairs. That the accused intend to lead the Emperor's forces to France. Within his border shortly before. Of course, coincidence. The Emperor simply feared for the life of his sister. There we have the answer. It's Marie Antoinette. It is no secret that the European monarchs have a warped view of the revolution. They see it as a weapon against monarchy. Was the presence of forces in Normandy intended to escort the accused to Austria? Also a coincidence. I swear I had nothing to do with that. Is Jean-Marie Roulon a loyal servant? He was always loyal to France and the revolution. There was a time when I held him in high regard. We have a letter from the minister here in which he encourages bribery of deputies of the convention. I've heard that when the cabinet containing new evidence was discovered, Roland dismissed his associates so he could carefully go through the contents by himself. During one meeting, I joked that they would be able to save the balance of the Republic if I could find just one honest man in the convention who would back me. It would seem your humorless joke was taken quite seriously. Judging by what was left, I dread to think what document the minister succeeded in destroying. That's actually true, Tinville. You actually said one correct thing, Tinville. I still hate you, though. I hope the accused does not lose his job. It would be a pity. The people are about to rebel. Shall we still ask? I kind of want to ask the other two questions. Let's try it. Let's hope we don't get murdered by the angry mob. Was the Swiss Guard going to help during the Duke's attack on Paris? No, they were only supposed to keep my family safe. You doubled the number of the Guard before the event in August. It seems as though everything was going according to the Duke of Brunswick's plan. Nonsense! You can't be responsible for the intentions Prince Charles stated in his letter. Why would I act against my own people when his attack was already doomed to fail? But it wasn't. He outnumbered the French army like, I think, 1.5 times. Did the accused intend to lead the Emperor's forces to France? Bad judge. I certainly did not. I think I'm waiting too long. I need to decide with that. In this letter, the Emperor was quite clearly about his intention to return France. I do not know the plans of Emperor Leopold, but I do know that I would never allow anyone to spill French blood. But you must admit that such an offer from an enemy government paints you in a bad light. Dear God, it is merely personal correspondence from my brother-in-law. It is not personal when the letters exchanged are by rulers and deal in matters of national security. Alright, yeah, we've taken too long. The people has limits. Common folk endorsement. Oh, wow, we shouldn't have waited. Reputation man is 4. Oh, we should not have waited. I should not have asked those two questions. I just wanted to know it because he's the king. Okay, let's kill him. Let's just... We all knew this moment would come, okay? I can't go against the jury, my family, the common folk, and everyone else. Even if I were to take this risk. I don't know if I actually die at this point. Because it just has a risk of being removed. I might not even die at the moment it hits it. But at this point, I can't go against everyone. So it's fiddly. And there we go. Roland and Antoinette. As a citizen committed to death by guillotine, take the convict away. Long live the people! Down with the tyrant! Alright, we did well this time. We got a repetition plus 7. I like the sound of that. Yeah, we got plus 13 here. We've completely overshot this. But that's... I mean, it's not bad. We are now maxed out on common folk favor, and we are on average here. So because we always lose a little bit, we can play around a little bit, and this will drop, and this will go up a bit and stuff, and then we'll slowly work it down again, I'm sure. I'm sure we will work it down. Let's go next. Also, we just lost a lot of support because of the bad judge modifier that I got for taking too long. But I mean, it was a historical moment. It's the first time a king is being executed. Like, take your time. Ask 5 questions.
Their excitement was stronger than the smell of the fresh wood the guillotine was made from. Do they know what's about to happen? Sheep that only now realize they used to have fangs and claws. One thought guides their clenched fists. To bow before the new, uncompromising idol with a shining steel crown. I too have felt their eyes on me, just like him. A silent assistant in this ritual of new faith. A random acolyte, scared, doubtful. Will not the old gods seek vengeance for this treachery? He abandoned them all too easily. I was unable to understand their screams. I only tasted the stench of their sweaty bodies. But I could hear one thing perfectly. Bring us the king.
Yeah, we could win the heart of the crowd. At this point, I don't think they want to hear a speech. I think they want to see a king's head. Anyway, we'll try to talk to them. Aggressive about the crown, about the crime, like he's so evil. Manipulating about the defendant, and humble about the revolution, I think. A weak argument. Oh, I can't change it anymore. Maybe I shouldn't do weak. Oh, I think it tells me here how it is. So now I do aggressive, manipulation, and then I do something else here. Maybe a manipulation again or something. So we do know that aggression is good. Where there is crime, there must be punishment. We shall dish it out. Oh yes, even if convict ancestors shall feel the cold edge of the guillotine slicing through their necks. That worked very well. We can go manipulative. These offenders want to go back to the old ways. They defend them. We have gotten them at that. We know humility is weak here. We've already used that. I'm not going to be careless about that. So we're going full on aggression here. We're going for a second. You have gained power in France. Now spill the blood of those who oppose the Republic. And we have... I think we've perfected it. I think we've perfected it. We got a reputation +4 at least. At least something. I die as an innocent man. I forgive my enemies. That's actually... Those are good last words. Those are good last words. I mean, he wasn't innocent, but obviously this is... yeah. If this is justice, it's a different question. It's a very different question. I would say no, but... I must be dreaming. Is that the map from Mugler's case? You stole evidence from the court. I did not steal it, I only found a use for it. It will be more useful in your room than in the dusty drawers of the court archives. After all, this is a map by Go and should be treated with respect. What a lovely explanation. Consider it a gift. Now take it and try not to talk so much. You should be more concerned about the events with the king, because this whole situation just seems peculiar. As your superior, I should be the one judging Louis' case. I fail to understand why Robespierre asked for your sentence. Me too. I don't understand why I was the one judging. I do not understand why I was judging that. You're jealous? Of course I'm jealous. It is an important moment in history and people will be reading about it for decades to come. It seems there will be trouble. I have a feeling that someone is toying with my life as though an unknown force were pushing me into utter chaos. Keep your eyes open. You came to the political world of the city from out of nowhere, and that means someone will have to step down to make room. If to sound so defeated, my husband is a renowned person now. We should be happy about it. It is easier to shoot someone in the spotlight. That is true. Also, since when do you suddenly take my side? Because it seems to me like you are still the same bitch you've always been. Alright, I think we need to do something to make Daddy a little bit happier here. So let's see which one Daddy likes. Ooh. Reading together, everyone likes except for the sun. The sun doesn't like it. Oh, like there's a lot of hate with the sun on that one. But yeah, let's go for reading together. I like the sound of that. Actually, he's already filled out. There's actually no point in making him happier. You know what? I'm going for the even. I'm with your father every now and then. Show him your world. Perhaps you will get a taste for it. Is there anything else I can make to make Daddy a little bit happy? I don't really want to fuck up with him. I don't want to do the reading together because he's already maxed out. I'm assuming that he's taking a bigger hit than those get plus, because I'm assuming that he's taking about the hit that those three lose. We're gonna go for this, I think. He's getting quite a bit. He only lost that, and she only lost that. Okay. I think that was okay. I think that wasn't the worst choice. And with that, day number 7 starts. And if we are in the courtroom, yes. The people shrug the invisible burden off their backs. The streets seem more peaceful. Even the windows at the courthouse were soon replaced. I'm glad to hear that the windows actually already were replaced the last time. I will make a cut here, however. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm still having an absolute blast with this game. I think it is great fun. I hope you guys are also enjoying it, and I will see you on the next episode. Have a good one, everybody. Bye bye.